Hey guys, Tony here. Now in this video, I want to talk about the emergence of commercial spaceflight in today's space industry. Now the growing commercial spaceflight industry will bring us another significant step towards the sci-fi future we've been reading, watching, and dreaming about since childhood. In this video, I'll discuss the dangers, the benefits, past and future of commercial spaceflight, and humans' involvement in it. While the emergence of commercial companies developing technologies to further our reach into the final frontier brings invaluable benefits such as new economy and more knowledge on how humans are affected by deep space, it'll also come at a cost. You see, space travel is hard and dangerous. Space literally is trying to kill us when we go there. Many people died en route to our current level in achievement and understanding. How much more will humans have to sacrifice to achieve a sustainable space tourism, telecommunications, scientific, and technological industry we're striving to build today? So, the emergence of commercial spaceflight comes with plenty of pros and cons. While all of them move the needle forward with regards to progress towards a new era, some beg the question if now is the right time to pursue low Earth orbit and beyond for the human race. So just because we technically can achieve it, should we? So one of the first shared advantages of the expanding commercial space industry is the vastly expanding access to space for many different sectors. Lee Billings wrote in Nature that after the success of Spaceship One for Virgin Galactic, astronomers were excited to bring telescope past the moon's orbit. Planetary scientists began planning orbital missions to study the formation of the solar system, and scientists of all disciplines were excited to support the emerging industry. Now, while we now hear stories of astronomers complaining that Starlink satellites are photobombing their data collection, it seems that commercial space, albeit expensive, addresses the problem it creates, or at least tries to. Now, until recently, most astronauts have been primarily young, healthy, male test pilots. The new population of astronauts to purchase tickets aboard the first space tourism flights will give us access to data we've never been able to collect. So with new astronauts who are willing to take the same risk as the pilots who took before them, we'll be able to measure how microgravity and radiation affect those with underlying health conditions, or those previously outlying ages, or cultures, or medical histories, or genders, or weight, everything. Another cool pro is that ultimately the new availability of low Earth orbit to humans will affect more than just that overview effect that you get from astronauts bringing back to Earth. With space becoming less and less expensive, students of all shapes, sizes, backgrounds will see themselves in the folks taking these spaceships past Earth's atmosphere, and they can believe they can do it as well. This was huge for the first African American space, for the first women in space, and so on. Now, with space becoming more affordable and accessible, new companies will form a new sector of the economy for satellite services, space hotels, new paths of education, and so much more. And inspiring students to continue to pursue STEM fields will help renew the country's technical and educational prowess for future generations. So those are all the things that are really great about the emergence of commercial spaceflight. Now, there were cons baked in there, right? So astronomers getting photobombed by Starlink, they're not great, but it doesn't make it right necessarily, but doesn't mean that there are some advantages to it. So let's move on to the disadvantages. So we've already covered this. Humanity is moving forward with the emergence of spaceflight, but at what cost? The carbon emissions from launches, the known and unknown dangers of launching humans into space, and the age-old dilemma of the other side of America's budget create a firm argument against the pursuit of quick access to space, and I'm gonna go over all of that. So let's start with the launches. How do they affect the environment? Now, with current propellant types and the foresight that launches will reach a cadence of like 2 to 3 per day, carbon emissions would rank among the highest sources in the world affecting global warming. Now, while Elon Musk and the X Prize Foundation are currently funding a competition for carbon capture technology, I'm not sure algae farms will be enough to address the future predicaments of all these emissions. Moving on, 18 Americans have either lost their lives in flight or in preparation for missions to space, and due to this, NASA's safety regulations are extremely strict, rightfully so. Now, while this makes NASA's timelines a little bit longer than before, it ensures the safety of the crew. Now, the main question I ask, it pertains to commercial spaceflight, is whether or not commercial companies will be able to hold the same standards while achieving these crazy goals like SpaceX and Blue Origin are doing. It's possible that enough disasters will slow the entire space industry to a halt and render all advantages listed above obsolete. Now, I hope that doesn't happen. No, but it's possible. We have to keep that in mind. To kind of wrap it up here, the final frontier has become the next frontier, right? It's no longer seen as final, but it's what's next for human exploration and achievement. So while dangers force us to be steady and careful in our progress, companies are popping up all over the world to have a role in tourism, exploration, maintenance, science, technology of the future. And in addition to the new bustling industry beyond Earth's atmosphere, these advances have advantageous effects here on Earth. We're going to see new jobs, scientific advancements, new technologies for day-to-day, data about the human condition, and technology to continue to move our lives forward. The emergence of commercial spaceflight will quickly affect the way humans live and drastically change the futures we envision for those to come. So if you guys are excited about this, if you're a student and you want to get involved in this, you should look into mechanical engineering, aerospace engineering, software programming, and those types of majors as well. Now, if you're into the policy side, like space policy and how all those different companies and countries going into space is going to affect international relations and what laws are going to be put in place when, say, we all arrive on the moon and the South Pole, I would advise going into law, business, and then eventually space policy. And that's going to be a really, really exciting ride. So I'm going to do my best to keep you updated here. I'm going to try and post at least twice a week. So if you want to be alerted when I post a new video, please subscribe below and please like this video. Also, if you liked this, please comment and let me know. And if you didn't, please comment so I can, change it. But that's all for commercial spaceflight. I'm stoked to see your guys' questions below, and I'll see you next time. Bye.